Hey guys, it's Diana. It's a little early, nothing new with me. I'm gonna show you something I did. I seen that guy. I gotta put the link up. I'm gonna put the link up here for you guys. Or I'm gonna put his name. I have to go get it. I saved it. But he was doing portraits of people on cardboard. The thing with this is I've done cardboard before, you guys know. I show where you can like make it look like a canvas by gesso. And I didn't gesso this or anything, but I thought this would be cute up like on a shelf. Just a flap of one of the boxes. I'm gonna show you how to do it on a small. You know, I cut it down so you could do it like in cards. You could go real small and you could do ATC, but I just cut up some multimedia paper into 4 pieces. And I thought we would just go over my exercise book, not the therapy thing today, but the 365 Days of Art. It's a creative exercise for every day of the year. There's actually a place in here to mark off, but I'm gonna drink my tea and give everybody a few minutes to get on. And let me get everybody on my laptop, which I didn't bring out here, so hold on, I'm coming right back. Let's hope everything works right today. Let's hope I got enough juice on this. I didn't plug it in either. That's the problem with me not having what I need in this room. I used to do my, what do they call it? My iPad. I just leave it right here. So at least twice a month I'm going to forget it. We may or may not have enough juice. I hope so. Refresh. And we're in the Arts Rose group, so refresh that too since it's on here. Let me see if I'm up yet. Yeah, so I got all excited when I said, hey, there is other people painting on cardboard. He's just doing just old big old pieces of cardboard. Now, I don't know if he's framing them or what he's doing with them. But guys, I thought it was super cool. So, I don't know what's going on here. No. Let's go bigger. Need to go bigger. Oh, that's my, no, we don't want that. I didn't bring my mouse out either. Oh my God. It logged me out again. Freaking Facebook. Oh, I have to do the desktop, guys. I'm so irritated. All right, so now let's go to groups. It has this thing where it keeps logging me into my phone, but you can't do much on it. You have to do the laptop one. And I don't know, me and my grandchild looked over it. I don't know how to get that app off here now. I have to go to probably Chrome apps. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do that. Another project. I had to get a special thing on here now to put more data in because all those videos ate up one. Now I got another one with a lot of, it's like got 1 gig. I didn't have enough. All right, so here I am. And I'm drinking some tea. I'm waiting for you guys. Some green tea. Give me a few minutes. If you guys never been here before, my name is Diana Myers. I'm an artist. I was a hairdresser and a mother. Lots of other things, as most women are. I've been doing art basically my whole life, really. I started oil painting. She's 46. She's maybe 43 years ago. 8 years difference, 6 years difference, 46. So she was about 2. So 44 years. I got pictures of her like in her diaper and me sitting on the couch painting. That's where I used to paint on my lap. Didn't have no money. Whew. I had that trailer had came furnished. I had like 4 things. I went down there with clothes, and of course people didn't have that much like they got now though. Anyways, that's when I started painting, and then later I sold some stuff before I left there. I kept painting, and then hey Lori girl, I eventually, as the years went by, I had my own salon. A couple of them had my own salon. I would sell stuff. But in between, life happened. I didn't always paint. Always doodled, always drawed. Always, like, every year I did a craft with the kids. I mean, I was always doing something. And then at one point, I had a couple showings and sold some stuff. And, you know, and then I wanted to buy that painting with a twist. And when I found out I had to take an equity loan, they're very expensive. They're worse now. Might be cheaper now. But anyways, this guy had one here, and I seen he was hiring. Well, I couldn't fill that application out fast enough. He called me within like 12 hours, hired me on the spot. He says he never does that. By then, I had been painting like 25 years or so, 30 years maybe, more than that, because it was only like 7 years ago. So whatever that was, maybe 8 years ago. It was before COVID. I worked there. And then I started doing my own after COVID, and then from that led to this. So this is where I am, and I'm still exploring stuff. I think when you do art, you never just stop exploring. You're gonna find your favorite things, but you never really do. But this is what I did. I painted on some cardboard today. I did a little one, and then I got all excited. I got thinking about it. I'm sitting there in the front room watching a show, and there's a box of cardboard that's got to go out. My granddaughter's gonna take it out for me. I was like, wait a minute. So I decided to just do it. But the thing with the cardboard is you can cut out, if you got a frame that you like and there's nothing in it, you want something in it, you can just size it to that frame and paint something. On the ones I used to do, which I have a video on YouTube, I would gesso the back. This is white. There is black gesso. You can color the gesso. Let it dry. Do a couple coats. In the back, I'd paint it white. Tape off the edges so it looked almost like a Dollar Tree canvas, and then you could paint whatever. And then I also did a couple, which is still on my table, coffee holder things, you know. So you could do a lot with cardboard, and it's paintable, and a lot of artists are using it. I didn't realize it was so popular, but this guy is fantastic. I put it on my main page. It's there somewhere, but I will give you the guy's name. I think he's Italian, Spanish, or something. But he does portraits that are just, might not be your cup of tea because it's very abstract, but I just think they're phenomenal. You can tell he's been doing it a long time. So anyways, I got you guys up here. I can see myself. This all down. I want all this up here. So let me see. Anybody else on yet? So we'll get right to the painting. I don't want that. Don't you dare put that up there. Ugh. All right. She'll love it. So this is kind of a thing I've seen another guy did, but they did it in watercolor. So I'm doing acrylic. It's a little different because of the way I did it. So let's get busy. So I'm going to do this big one first, and then I'm going to go over some of the things I did in this book and the things you can do with it. I mean, it's not really therapy stuff, but anything when you're painting is therapy. But it's got a lot of little neat things I think are great because you can spend 10 minutes and you've done a little bit of art, you know? And you circle how many days you did. And there's all different stuff, and I will show you that. So let's get this started so people can see what I'm doing. And basically you got, let's see what, black and white, and I took 3 different fall colors. One's an orange, one's a red, and one's an ochre, like my shirt. And then there's spice pumpkin, and then I did a crimson red, or like a cranberry red, or something like that would be pretty. Black and white, and I did a Posca pen, and I'll show you what I did. And I didn't gesso it or anything, so I'm curious to see how it holds up. I took a little gold with my finger, went around the edges. I'm gonna put it up on the shelf I got, so I think it look cute. I like to layer stuff, so I think it look cute behind the stuff, plants or something. Something where they won't get wet, you know? All right. So let me put this down. So I hope you're all doing well. Whoever comes on here, make sure you sprinkle and jingle. You can share this. A lot of you can share. And talk and jingle and the whole 9 yards. Do all the things. Keep this page going. I'm thinking about Facebook that, you know, there was rules about having, you could, oh, it's a long story. They just recently changed it where you can do, hold on, I got stuff over here I gotta do. Where's my black? Where's black? no light in here. Hold on, guys. I gotta put the overhead light on. Where you can do, you can change back and forth from a public to a private group. It used to be once you were private, you couldn't go public. You couldn't change it over. You had to keep it private or close out the group and start another group, which is what some people did. So then later, well, then I had a public group, and this one's, I thought it was public, it was a private, well, I couldn't change it back, so I just coerced people to come over. So the advantage of that is that really people that are coming over want to be here. They see what I've done, they want to come over. They're, But I could make it public, but I was not going to do that. But now it says that you can change it back if you want to. So I'm going to do a little survey. You guys let me know how you feel about that. I'm not sure, because, you get those weird guys. And even they get in sometimes. Now, they let people in. Say, I've made it that way if they ask. But some stuff I have to approve, like paintings and stuff. So they have certain rules about that. I don't know all the rules, but just a thought. And if we don't like it, we'll send them back. I just block them out. That's what I do. So just a thought. And I got some exciting things which I can't talk about coming up in the future. So stay tuned, guys. I would say in the next couple of weeks, something different. It's a whole new thing. And I'm kind of a little excited. So it looks like it might work out, so I'll let you know. So I'm just going to take a big brush, and I'm not really going to cover this whole canvas or whatever you want to call it. Now I got overhead light. I got too much light. Ugh, I got shadows from that stuff over here. I have a great big, like, 3-tiered thing here with all the paints on it. But I need another Lazy Susan for it. I just seen Dollar Tree's got it, but I don't know if they're going to be heavy enough. I might have to maybe order one. I have one out there, but I'm using it. It was originally under this, but I have another one that I'm using for Spice Rack. Kind of limited on space here, so I have to get pretty creative. So I'm just trying to take, instead of like doing it flat like a house paint, I'm kind of doing it on an edge right here so that I can kind of just make little streaks as I come over the edge, which is exactly what I'm going to do on the small paper, which is just multimedia. But you can do this with watercolor, and you can do this on watercolor paper. See, so I get like this kind of streaky, I want to say folk artsy kind of look to it. Don't make it too complicated. Just kind of do it on the side. And, you kind of want to keep it even, but it doesn't got to be. If it's a little wonky, that's just what I think would make this kind of look all right, I really do. So, it's okay. I'm going to fill out most of this. Now, this is a pretty long, this is a whole flat from a box. You got to do it this big, but I seen it and I was going to cut it down. I said, no, I'm not going to cut that down. I'm going to do it this size. And I think this will look good up on my shelf, so that's what I did. I think I'll take a picture and I'll show you. Or even in a window would be kind of cool, You get a place you want to black out some sun. This would be cool. Can't see through it, but it would black out some light. Bedroom window or something. Got a sheer in front of it. It looked pretty cool. Just saying, you could. All right. So I got all the black on. Now, if it's not dry, this stuff dries pretty fast on here. Just hit it with a dryer. I also use a sponge, which is actually, it is an art sponge. It's one of these deals. But you could use any kind of sponge or a stippling brush, or you could dry brush it with a big funky kind of broken down brush, or a stippling brush would work too for that matter. So now I'm going to take the bottom, I'm going to take those, I got to put some more on here, those oranges and reds, which I'm going to refresh. Got my my box out today. That's where I keep some of my stuff. I try not to use much paint, but I don't know. I can't keep the lids on right, and I don't know. So I end up just trying to keep them wet. You could do that by, you could spritz them with a little water before you put them under. You have to be careful though with these, as they will thin right out on the plate overnight, whereas the thicker paint won't do that, you know, that comes in the tubes. So you could spritz on there fine. A lot of times I don't do these, but if there's like a big size clump, yeah, I'll wet it. Okay, I get 3 colors. I got white and I got black. Okay, that's pretty much all you need. And a Posca pen and a sponge, or something you could stipple with. Just threw me off. Come on. It threw me off. Oh, God, this. I gotta put my thing back in. Here I am again. Oh my God, I'm telling you. I can't, you know, we've had problems here last because their lights went out and stuff, but I don't think it's all that. I think part of it is them, because I was watching 2 different things this week, and both of them, one had to restart like I do, and one was like kibitzing the whole time about it, even complaining. So I'm just taking all these colors and I'm just putting them all over, and I'm going to kind of bring them up the sides like this. I want more red in here though. I want this to be a little darker. Now you could use browns, golds, whatever you got. I wanted to keep a little bit on the darker side because right where the moon's going to shine, I'm going to do that, and I like just a little bit, highlight the area a little bit. You see what I did? I kind of highlighted that area right there near the moon, which I did with my finger. I did it with my finger. Real technical like, you know. Real technical. Make it fun. Don't be like all stressed out. I mean, I think a child could do this. Isn't that terrible? I mean, I think they could. It's just sponging and streaking and making lines. Good stuff. Easy stuff. A little more orange right here. Do a little more red over in here too. Okay, you gotta have like a distance here, so don't go too far up, because you need to put your trees in. You could put a little green in here, but I didn't do that. You could. Then I'm going to flip it over. This is what I'm going to do with the small one. Flip it over. A little orange in here too. Leaving some of that background out is cool too, because it's kind of a dark painting. And I'm going to take my Posca pen. Now these aren't all going to be Posca, but I'm doing this because I don't have to worry about using a little pen yet, or a little what do they call them? Brushes. So I'm just going to kind of just make some random. I'm not even trying to copy the other one. You want to bring them all the way up, but not quite all the way. You don't want them all like lined up like soldiers, same shape, same size, same tree. No, don't do that, because they're not like that. Do some little small ones here in the back, because it's a forest, so there'll be some trees behind. And I don't want my Posca pen wet because it can ruin the pen, but if you got too far up here, it'll show, but you could just sponge in more to close off that bottom. And I want some big ones up front. And it's not necessary to have them real even, because they're not even. They're not. So I'll bring some all the way up too. So, all right. Give some branches. Oh, I think I hit my brush. I have to get it wet, or my Posca pen. I keep scraping it, make sure it's working. When you hit the paint, it'll do that. It'll just like give out. So just re-wet it or get some alcohol and do it. So now it looks kind of weird, right? Ugly stage, ugly stage. Artist alert, artist alert. Alright, some more right there. So now I'm going to take my tiniest, littlest rigger brush, which is really small. Really small. Can you see how small that is? I don't know. Sometimes they go like this. I don't know if you can really see. It's long. It's what they call it. They actually have them longer. They call them a rigger. It's a type of brush that they use to do their rigging on boats for real. And they'd be like really long. Some of them. Some people have them customized, make them, you know, there ain't too much you can't have customized. But yeah, so it's pretty long. There's not a lot of hairs on it. It's pretty thin, so it makes it very flexible. When you go look for a detailing brush or riggers if you want something thin. Or you could, from up here, you could actually thin out brushes too, take some of the hair out. That's another option. Okay, so let me turn this around. They do all kinds of stuff to achieve what they need. You know, when you're an artist, you can do that. I mean, a little bit of water to this paint, just to kind of, little thinness to it. Oh, wait a minute. You know what we gotta do? We gotta make some stars first. I did this last time. I did it after I got these on. It worked out fine. Just take some white paint, a medium-sized brush. This is what I'm using. It's a round brush, a little bigger. This is the number, I think number 5 Deco Art. And all I want to do is make a really soupy paint, and I'm going to make some stars here. In fact, I think I might even need some more black. I might not went far enough over. So I'm going to do just a few streaks here and there. Yes, I am. A little bit, a little bit, a little bit. So I hope you're all doing good. Is everybody cold? Because my buns are freezing. Everybody cold? Was it cold where you are? What are y'all doing today besides watching me? Freezing your buns off, drinking tea? That's what I'm doing. I'm actually warmer today than I've been in a couple days. And it was like 50 or close to 50 yesterday. I was still cold. I was freezing. So now I'm going to take my finger before I use that small brush. And I'm just going to get my finger wet. And I'm going to make me a good size, right in this area, I'm going to make myself a good size moon with my finger. Another technical piece of equipment, your finger. You ain't gotta be perfect, just get as round as you can. You could adjust it with your brush too. I just find I get a pretty good circle when I use my finger. I don't know about you, but I do. Hey, Joe Allen. It was 22. Oh, good. I don't know what mine was this morning. It was like the first full night's sleep I had in like, I don't know how long. Of course, the kids are here, and not that I don't love my grandchildren, but they kind of disrupt my little program, I guess. So I'm going to thicken up some of these as I'm going to make them into birch trees. So I'm just going to kind of fill them in. It'll leave some of the top out because that's where all the foliage is going. And I'm going to maybe make a branch. Get at least some of these ones in the back that are like this. We're going to add more. Gotta leave them a little bit. Not even important that you get them all like filled in totally. It's not even important because we're going to go over them with the Posca pens. Or, you know, you can use same thing, small brushes. Like I said, if they don't come all the way down, I can like come back and fix them, but I can come back with this stuff, and which I'm going to do, and bring them up a little bit. Okay, here's some small ones up here. Just kind of mess with it. It doesn't got to be perfect, but make sure there's some in the background. Don't like try to like line them up like soldiers. It just doesn't look natural. This one artist, he talked about, well, actually more than one, about painting everything you see, but also that with nature, it's funny how it can look like it's all even, but it's not. You can't paint everything you see. You just do the maybe part of the lake and part of the trees, and you know, if you did every single one, number one, you'd be there every day, and you'd never could copy it. And with the changing light and seasons and stuff, it would never stay the same. So what you kind of are doing is looking for the essence of the forest or the lake or So don't try to be all perfect, because it's not really perfect, which is weird, right? But it's not. So I'm just going to kind of add some more little sticks and stuff here, twigs, and some off in the background because it is a forest. Maybe some limbs off the limbs here before I go into the foliage. And I could still add more. There's all these little odd, on birch trees, there's these little odd, like, pieces that are coming off. They kind of like, if you've ever seen a birch tree, like, they kind of shed. All right. It's cold in Indiana. Well, I think it got over 50 again today. But I had the heat on. I think overnight it actually got warmer, and I had the heat on like 70, which I don't never keep it that high, but I was so freaking cold. I cooked. I had my little fireplace on. I got up. It was 80 degrees. I was sweating like a pig. But, you know, it's good now. All right, so now you want to take that, whatever you're going to use to make all those little broken up leaves and stuff. I'm going to get some orange on this. So all the colors. Try to keep the mostly orange and red and highlight with the yellow. And I'm just going to start going kind of randomly, just kind of picking out some spots. Not too thick, if I can. And just kind of go over the spots. Now, like I said, you could do this with a stenciling brush, makeup sponge, a toothbrush, Q-tips, wind them all up and put them in a rubber band. You could do this with an old brush that you break, you know, that's all dried out. You can kind of brush it and get it all splayed out. That would work. Any kind of sponge, just kind of pinch some of the guts out. You don't want them all on the top. I mean, there's little branches on the bottom, so some of them would be down in this area. Or there might be some from the back, like back here, that might be kind of coming forward a little bit, so they ain't gotta all be on the top. A little orange here, a little more red, I think. Kind of eye it off. You leave some darkness back here too. Don't try to cover it all. It's okay if you go over the moon. That's why I tried to do the moon first. Because that way I can, like, if I want to bring a little bit over, I can. We're going to do the small one too. Just make a great ATC too. You could just do like one stem even if you wanted to, or just a couple of trees. But I'm going to do like on the bigger one. But I think on the smaller one, I wouldn't do as many branches and stuff. Well, I guess I got a couple soda cans over here too. Yeah, my tea. No wonder I ain't got no room. I get thirsty. Seems like I can just kind of go up in this moon a little bit. I still got to do the bark on the trees. That kind of brings it together. Then I kind of, where the moon shines on here, I do a little white, you know, white and yellow. Yeah, I'll show you guys what I'm doing in that book. And then, I mean, you don't have to buy the book, but actually it'll give you some ideas, things you could do to do a little 5 and 10 minute projects. That's why it's good to have a place of your own to do your projects. You know, it just is a good place to have, you know, to have some place where you can just spend 5-10 minutes It makes you feel better. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of come in here and do that white where I want some light areas right here. Because the moon would be kind of like shining right here. If it was a real place, it would be. Kind of bring that up a little bit. A little yellow in there too, and I'm going to kind of move the florist floor up so that it's covering some of these trees. And a little lighter on the top of these bushes. You can kind of go in here a little bit if you need to and put a little more color. And you could go around the edges with a little bit of white, maybe do some white right here because the moon would be hitting some of these too. Just a little bit, not much. And then this side too. Alright, so now let's get my Posca, a black Posca, or I got this small micro pen. I want to make sure these trees are dry. And I'm just going to start making little lines. Don't make them too perfect. Kind of make them random. I think I got it wet already. You can also make it more even by going up and down the sides and kind of closing it in like that. You could do a lot of things to this. Do different things. Could add a deer or something right in the front. That would be cool, wouldn't it? I think it would. I think it'd be cool. And I might add like, take my thin white and do some more of that white paint. Kind of add some more branches in here a little bit. The Posca pen doesn't quite show up as much. Just tiny, tiny, tiny bits. All right, another one done. Not even. I need a hairdo. I didn't feel like doing it today. There you go. It's another one. Shoot. So that's two. And then here's this one. This one came out. I used a lot more color. Oh, pretty good, right? Pretty. I might add some more white to this too when I go back. But let me do. I want to show you that book. This one's got to dry. Yeah, this one. And then we're going to do a small one. So pretty. I'm going to have room here. Because these sodas are empty, I think. Here. All I want to do is cook and eat, stay in. I'm going to have to go and get some stamps. I started our, well, Mom, I got the mailings done. I said I got to do the Happy Mail. And I'm short on some stamps. So I'm going to have to go up to get some. All right, so here is this book. Again, I know it's backwards. 365 Days of Art. But I've shown you some of this stuff because you don't really need this book to do some of these. I've done a few. In the front, it has Or you just circle the ones that you've done. Or you can just circle them as you go. Right there. See? There is literally 365 days. But you can come to these when you feel like it and pick out things. And I want to do this one. You put shadows. And you could use all different ways of drawing them. In other words, like this one, she cross-hatched it. You could take pencils and stuff and maybe do this one with a regular pen. Get to work. And maybe cross-hatch it. With a pen. Then maybe another one you would use, like maybe you got crayons or chalk or whatever you got. This one I've been doing, which has been so fun. So I've been doing bees. Now they had the bees with the little things in them, the little wings, and I just kind of fix up the wings any way I want. And I give them a tail and an eye. Then I could take a colored pen, any color, which I didn't, hey, here it is. Let's do orange. And I can make some, I try to do every single one of them a little different. It's almost like a goldfish, right? A little exit. And these things take 5 minutes. So I thought what you could do is get a piece of paper, get some yellow paint, and just put a bunch of thumb marks down. I actually know somebody who does stuff like that. So it's an art. Okay, so then this one is just blobs of watercolor paint. The one that, her name is Andrea Nelson. She does watercolors, teaches mostly kids. But she does a book, a journal. And she does where she just does blobs. And maybe she'll do, like animals. But there's one back here where it's actually, she does all faces. She does circular blobs and does all different faces. This one is, they just color the whole thing in gray paint. And what she wants you to do is to make in this book, they want you to make a landscape, but with gray. No bright blues or anything. So it gives you some different ideas on, oh God, there's so much stuff I haven't gone through after this I'm really interested in. The strawberries, you could draw a bunch of strawberry shapes. Do each one with a different medium. Like this one's crayon. You could do one with whatever you have. Do them different colors. Try to keep it look like a strawberry. This one is like doodling. And you could just start a doodle in the middle and then just keep the pattern going out. Great for eye and hand coordination too. So that's what's in this book. It's like $14 for this book. This one is I like too. I was looking at it. Each one, like it says, sit by an object. And it doesn't have to be this. It has to be an object. It could be like my teacup. Or choose a vase of flowers. Choose anything that interests you. Draw it 4 different ways. First, choose just a colored outline like this one. Then use blocks of color. Then per se, stylize the version. Maybe like this one, you only did half of it. And then when you get done, do all these things on the last one, which is kind of how you do stuff. Do all those things, it's kind of multimedia, and make it into a total painting. So just interesting little things in here, filling in the butterflies. Here's the faces one. She has circular bobs, the watercolor that girl I was telling you about. Then you're going to make different faces. So these are nice little exercises. And I'll tell you, it really calms the mind when you can spend 5-10 minutes a day. Have your spot ready. Think about the things you're going to do. The bees are cute. Just take your thumb. I like the one with the faces and stuff too. And it's very calming. I just seen this thing, I'm into all that art therapy, where they were talking about you can actually the right brain is actually creative, and it's activated by the left nostril. It sounds crazy, I know it. And then everything's connected. And then the left brain, which is the logical mind, is the right side of the nostril. So she has to do this exercise to calm your nerves. And what you do is you hold the right and you breathe. You know it freaking works, right? So I'm trying to go to sleep last night. And you hit the nose, and it makes you more creative and relaxed. And the other side kind of wakes you up. So if you go this side and you're trying to relax and calm your vagus nerve down, 45 seconds in and out on this side. And if you want to pep up in the morning, you're like really slow. I haven't tried this one yet. You hit the left side and you just kind of, breathe, and it'll make you more peppy and awake. It's interesting because there's a lot of stuff like that and a lot of these different therapy things that they tell you to do, like the breathing and all that. So just a little thought on, left brain, right brain, and the right brain, which is the artistic side, responds very well to these small exercises. So spending 5-10 minutes a day isn't just for art, learn how to do art, but it's also for you to feel better. So just some thoughts there. All right. So I did a multimedia book, and I cut out it into just quarters. And I'm going to do the same thing on this thing here. And I'm just going to, same thing. I got a big, I'm drinking my tea. You got to be getting excited about your trip, aren't you? Lori? Got to be excited. I'm excited about going to New York. I'm so happy. Just hope she can get done everything I need. There's all these stories going on about the planes because there's nobody working the airports or the post offices. Amazon's having some kind of problem. This is like the only second time I've been doing Amazon for I don't know how many years, all kinds of stuff. And I have my orders, it said it'd be delayed a couple days. It's been more than a couple days. But it said if I cancel it, which I can, it might still be in transit. So if it doesn't show up by like tomorrow, because it's part of it's toilet paper. I got a good deal on toilet paper. Can I get no shipping? I have to pay for shipping. So see what I'm doing? I'm doing this side. I'm not going all the way over. Then I kind of come in here, kind of dry brush on the edges. Just make a great little card, like I said. If you do a smaller, like ATC, I don't think I'd do as many trees. Just kind of come in here and just, there's not a lot of paint in the brush, so you get this kind of scratchy look. It's what they call dry brushing. So I'm just hitting the tips, then offloading, which means I tap the side, which is what you do when you're stenciling. I got some really cute transfers from them from a while ago for Christmas. We'll be doing them. And I've seen another technique for Christmas trees that's very interesting, which is very similar to the leaves I did. You do like designs in them. Different, but look at, it's hard because everybody's doing the same thing, and I'm trying to like be a little different, teach people some different things. You can't all be tracers. If you're really serious about doing a little painting, you gotta, try some different things. They're great exercises. I mean, no one says you could, it's just you in the room. I mean, they ain't gotta be perfect. They just gotta help you feel better and learn some new things. And if it sucks, garbage cans, mine's right here. So, I advise not throwing away. Always keep stuff, because then you can go back and see how far you've come, which is kind of amazing sometimes. You're like, look at that. Or I tell you, the big thing is you go back and you say, that wasn't that bad. You could probably, there's a couple that I really hated. And 2 of them people bought. And I just looked at the people like, they ain't got no taste. They ain't got no taste. But then, like the one, I went back to her house and it was on the wall. And I was like, doesn't look bad at all. It looked good on her wall. The colors matched and stuff. So it's really like a matter of, perspective, and don't beat yourself up. None of it all comes out good. They go in, all those people after they die, and they find some treasures, and they find some, what was he thinking? All right, so that's done. If you need to, you can dry that. I'm going to dry it just a touch. A little bit. Oh, they kicked me off again. Okay, come on. You have to stay active on there, I guess, or maybe it's my computer. I don't know. Give it a minute. Come up. All right, so now I'm doing the same thing. I give up on this today. Is it coming back? Oh, yeah, wait a minute. It came back up. I'm wondering if it's this back room sometimes too. My old house, which is just, this is something new. It's never done this before. I had to get those, you plug them in, you buy them from the cable company. They expand this house isn't that big. I don't know, maybe a lot of people around here got internet now. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to take my sponge. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know. What do they call them? Do the bottom first, just like we did before. Oh, I don't know, you plug them into your wall outlets, and it expands your, of course, they charge you for it, of course. So I'm thinking it might have been all those storms, but it's clear today, so I don't know. I don't know. But I was having the same problem with the iPad, so I'm thinking maybe it's not just Facebook. I don't know. My old house, I had to get them. I had 2 of them in there. Well, it ended up being it was the company I was with, because I left the company and it stopped. So I said, but you know, in the other room I did have problems, so I ordered them. I got some, and then the car went through my house. So they came and they were looking for them things. Boy, they wanted them. I says, I can't give them to you. They were in where the room that it was in was where the car went through. We had all our utilities around that side too. So, yeah. Up the sides, same thing. It's a little more red in here. Up the sides. A little bit, just make kind of a hill. Then I'm going to flip it around, same thing. Flip it around. Get my little Posca pen. Someone's trying to call me. Well, not even canceling. There's a couple of them went down. There's a couple of them that were talking about the things aren't being serviced properly because there's nobody there. You know? Makes you wonder, don't it? I'm not going till January, but yeah, I can get myself worked up pretty good. Probably nothing will happen, Lori, I'm sure, but the big thing is there's nobody there. And then they got that blackout thing. Everybody's talking about it was from the 25th to the 2nd or something like that of December. People are going to walk out of their jobs. They're all a lot going on with the banks. Real stuff. Hope you're in a credit reunion. It happened now, if you remember, like 2008, 2010, we got hit a bunch of money that time too. And we didn't have a lot, but we would have had a lot if they hadn't. You know, it takes a lifetime to build those 401ks up, and there is nothing else anymore. So I remember the bank shut down for like a day. There was a run on the bank for a day and a half, 2 days, if you remember that. It was quite a while ago. So people are taking money out and not using Amazon, and they're not going to buy anything. They're not going to do Thanksgiving or Christmas, and this is like a big thing. So I was thinking, take a little cash out. I don't know. You don't know what to believe anymore, but people are pissed. They are pissed, let me tell you. Yep. All right. Okay. So I am going to do the same thing we did. Let me come up here. I'm just going to kind of make a few thick ones. I'm going to make them thicker with the brush. And I'm going to make some a little crooked. You don't want them perfect. Make some with some little wonky branches. Kind of going up a hill, so I'm going to make these taller out here. Make a couple big ones. Then I want some small ones in the background. Just some littles. I can fix them up a little bit too. So I want some branches on the top. That's good. Gotta wet my thing again so I don't ruin it. Uh-oh. Working right. Uh-oh. We're good. We're good. All right, that's a little too much on there, but that's okay. Didn't have enough liquid down there. I'm not making any of that up. Go Google. I can't believe sometimes when people ask questions, Google owns everything and they know everything, that stupid computer thing. You don't know something or someone's talking about something and you're not sure, Google it. I'll Google an entire question. Can I put peanuts in banana bread if I use a 12 by 14 at 400 degrees? And it'll answer me. It'll have like, AI will have like 27 different answers. So there isn't nothing. It's like Encyclopedia Britannica, that thing is. So when I like watch that political stuff especially, I'm like, let me Google that. And then it's just a matter of opinion, a lot of it anyway. So there's some of it I could care less about. People getting fed I care about, though. All right. Okay, so let me just finish. Let me turn this around. We're going to thicken some of these up. All right. Yeah, when that first came out, the Google thing, my kids like, you do what? Now they do it. I said, I told you, just put the whole thing in there. But now it's a lot faster, and it'll sometimes it wouldn't answer me, and that stupid Google boy. Oof. If I'm looking for something in artist, a technique, there was a name of a new slang thing that I never heard of, and it gave me like 27, explanations, and so I found out. It was like this morning. All right, so now let's get our sponge again, and we're going to do the top. Same thing. Oh, no, wait. We got to do the sprinkles. We got to sprinkle on some stars. Same thing, medium brush. Wet down some white paint. And just give it just a few taps. Just a few stars. A little wetter. Not much. You don't need much. Just a few. All right, then you take your finger and you're going to make a little moon. Makes the best moon, my finger does. All right, and then you're going to maybe dry it. Let's dry it just a flash. So you could do this like, bend just a piece of paper in half, and then it would be like a total card. Or do cardstock. You do this on the front of cardstock. They're already folded in. All right. Well, now do same thing. Do the same thing, just gotta hold this down. This paper is it's multimedia, so it kind of warps a little bit. Same thing. This actually came in one of those kits so that you get brushes in my sister gave me. And it was pretty big size, and I broke it up into quite a few pieces. I don't use anything that big. So it is like what they call an artist sponge. See how it's like all broken up? But you get the same effect with a paper towel too. If you just wad it up and put a lot of little crevices in there, same thing. I got this fly in my house and it's driving me nuts. Seems like every winter, even when I was a kid, I remember my grandmother saying, everywhere she named it, she named the fly. Every year she says, I get it. I think it's Herbie. I forget what the name of the fly was. But every year there'd be one say, hey, Herbie's back. Grandma says, every year he comes back. I think Herbie's visiting me. I think he's back. Guys think I'm crazy. I don't care. I don't care. But every year it seems like there's a fly. One fly. Just one. And I just haven't got the energy to beat him down. I'm like, if he made it through this, if he makes it through the winter, I'll be very happy. And then he can just go home wherever he came from. Every year. And like, it's just funny because if I'm out in the kitchen, there he is. It's just one fly. I thought there was 7. There's 1. So then I'm in here, and it must be the human body or the heat or something. I don't know. Bees do the same thing to me. They just kind of come over and visit me, and they don't bite me. Well, sometimes they don't. See, so there we got a nice little forest. Now I'm going to take a black Posca pen. It kicked me out. No, but I'm on again. Oh, you got to like do stuff on here or it will kick you off. There I am. See Jane run, see Dick jump. Those were so stupid, those books. But you know, I remember reading them. I remember we had to read them. Those books. Just be careful any wet spots too, because it'll ruin your pens. This is a little micro pen, they call it, for detailing. I use these a lot. I have a couple when I use my watercolor set and I'll draw stuff. This is what I use, these little tiny pens. Water-based, water-resistant pigment liner. Very small. Tiny. Then I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white and just kind of, a little yellow and white. Just highlight this area where the, or you could even, like, I'll use a small brush too. You can use a small brush. And then I'm going to take this medium-sized brush and see, I'm going to rough it up a little bit. So it'll ruin the brush. Nah, acrylic brushes are tough. Now the soft ones, the boarhead and all that I use for oil, it can make a very bad brush. But I keep them because there's things you can do with a dried out old brush. Even a makeup brush. I got a makeup brush over here I use all the time. They're very soft, but you can't beat them up too much. And then I can kind of come over with the white and yellow. Or like I said, a stippling brush do the same thing. A little color on it, then I'll do the white. And then I can kind of come in here and some more white. Just make a little lighter area. Need more white in here. A little yellow. Kind of want to darken that. I'm put a little more red in here, darken the bottom up a little bit. You could use some browns in this too, which I think might have been a good idea. But they won't show up too much with that black. But there's brown, like in the cardboard one, which is cool. But if you want to do something lighter, like I said, just on the board. And really, they absorb pretty good, like a canvas. So if you put some gesso on them, it'll dry pretty fast. And then I would gesso twice if you want to do something light. And then a couple of them, I don't know where the one is. I told you, just some witch hats and stuff on them. I sold them at that place I used to sell at. And you can do Mod Podge or that gel medium I use over the top to make them shiny. I did like birds and stuff. You guys remember that? I don't know if you remember that, but so you can use cardboard for stuff. Phew, I got 2 of them now. Got 2. Somebody's gonna get these next month. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. I'm gonna turn this off. It's driving me nuts today. Yeah, maybe it's maybe I should get those amplifiers. Is that what they call it? I forget what they call them. They expand the Wi-Fi. So I hope you guys all have a good afternoon. If anybody rewatches, make sure you put rewatch so I know what you guys like. I think people are going to like this one. Very fall looking. Like I said, it's almost time to start doing Christmas stuff. I know Thanksgiving's coming up, but everybody's doing pumpkins and stuff. You know, it's like pumpkin out. You know, I like pumpkins. Don't be wrong, but you guys still got the Dunkin' Donuts cup, large maple leaf, pumpkin patch, bale of hay, Thanksgiving dinner, fall trees. I loved your apple, by the way. Did you go back and watch our apple study in the group? It was really good. Thanksgiving dinner. I was thinking maybe I'll do that. Scarecrow, fall trees, goofy turkey, skinny turkey, flower pumpkin, polka dot pumpkin, abstract pumpkin, pastel pumpkin, apples, pumpkin patch, artsy pumpkin, stacked pumpkins, apples in a basket, birch trees, and fall landscape. So this kind of is trees, fall landscape. You got 3 or 4 things you can cover just doing this one exercise. So you guys have a great amplifier. That's it. Yeah. So you guys have a great afternoon. Thanks for visiting, and I will see you next week. If anything interesting is happening, I usually put it in as groups to check once in a while. So like I said, have a great night. I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Me and Herbie are going to go watch TV. Bye.